This week's read-along is called Qin's Brain, the Man Behind the Emperor. Much was known about Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, before archaeologists began to excavate his tomb. A written history of Qin's life, called the Shiji, would precede by 2,000 years the discovery of the bronze chariots, lustrous jewels, and clay replicas buried with him at his death. Thanks to these records, Qin's mythical legacy became official history. What most people do not know is Qin did not act alone. As with countless world leaders throughout the past, there was a man behind the master. His name was Li Si, but he was also known as the mastermind. Qin was a 13-year-old boy named Ying Xing when his father, the king, died in 247 BCE. Because he was too young to rule, his job fell to his prime minister. One day, a young scholar named Li Si arrived at court, seeking work. Impressed by the dignified young man, the prime minister hired him immediately. Li Si began to meet privately with the young king. Before long, Ying Xing was drinking in the scholar's elaborate, far-reaching ideas. Li Si helped the young king realize that he, not the prime minister, held the power, even though he had not yet officially been crowned. With Li Si, the king began to think big. At that time, their kingdom, the state of Qin, was one of the 7 warring states. But Li Si prodded the king to aim for a revolutionary goal: become the strongest state, then wipe out the feudal lords, and bring the 7 states together under one rule: Ying Xing's. The Shiji recounts these events and describes the traits and temperaments of key figures. One modern historian summarizes Li Si as a cunning man with a distinct ambition: to run an entire country. And he would not let anything stand in the way of the king he was grooming to become emperor. The first test occurred when the king came of age. Before the coronation, enemies plotted his assassination. When the plan was discovered, the young king dealt with it swiftly and brutally. The plotters, including his 2 half-brothers, were executed. This incident set the tone for Qin's tyrannical rule. In the coming years, Qin was encouraged by Li Si to build up an army and conquer all neighboring states. With all of China under his thumb, the king declared himself emperor of the world. However, it was Li Si's totalitarian philosophy that kept Qin on the throne. Now the emperor's chief minister, Li Si, insisted that any possible threat be squashed. He created a written system of laws that required strict obedience. To prevent threats from competing ideas, Li Si decreed that all books that did not promote Qin's empire be burned. Entire libraries of scrolls went up in flames. All this may be ancient history, but Li Si's philosophy of strict compliance with laws, now called legalism, survives. It works its influence in one form or another in modern governments of today.